So before we traveled down here to Walt Disney World, Jenna asked me some trivia questions, and for however many I got right, that would earn $10 to spend in the parks today. So let's go take a look at that video, see how much that I won, and then we'll go throughout the day and see what we could buy between food, drinks, souvenirs here in Walt Disney World.
Let's see if we can stump Andy. Okay.
Pressure's on.
Pressure's on. So, question number 1. What is the opening date of Disneyland, and what was his opening line of his speech?
July 17th, 1955. To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Need to get that. Okay.
And who's he? You need to name him by name.
Walt Disney.
Show some
Who
respect.
else? Walter Elias Disney, dear.
Show some respect.
Okay. Name the 7 dwarves from Snow White.
Okay. Dopey, Sleepy, Doc, Bashful.
I know it's hard.
Sneezy.
See, now I forget the ones that you said. Yeah. Okay, I have them written down, and I'm gonna bold them when you say them. So start again.
Okay. Dopey.
Uh-huh.
Sleepy. Uh-huh. Sneezy.
Yep.
Bashful.
Uh-huh.
Doc.
Mm-hmm. 2 more.
Funny? Not funny.
Oh, am I stumping him on question 2?
Did I say sneezy?
Yep.
I said sneezy?
You're forgetting like 2. One of them you've already said before, and you just don't know that you didn't say it. And the other one is a classic. What did you call me this morning?
Oh, grumpy.
Okay, what's the opposite of that?
Happy.
There you go.
Jesus.
That took a while. I can't believe I kind of stumped him on this one. I'll give it to you. I know you know them, but it's hard to get all 7 at once.
We're going to get so much hate in the comments.
This is my game. I can do what I want. Okay. This one I'm curious if you know. Because I feel like I know of this, but will I remember it off the bat? Okay. Pixar is known for its Easter eggs. What letter and number combination can be found in...
A113.
Can I finish the question?
I knew where you were going with it.
Yes, 8113. Okay.
A113.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. A113.
That was the classroom at Berkeley where a lot of the Pixar animators went to school together.
Yeah, so you can find it in lots of movies, like license plates and whatnot. Okay.
That's a good question.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, what town is the inspiration for Main Street, USA?
Marceline, Missouri.
And why is it significant?
That is Walt's hometown. Well, he was born in Chicago, but he grew up in Marceline, Missouri.
Very good. That was precisely what I was looking for.
What, born in Chicago but grew up in...
Well, yes, because he wasn't born in Marceline,
Correct.
Missouri, but that is where he spent his childhood.
Correct.
So it's very specific.
Yes.
So, great.
Turn of the century, Midwestern town, inspired Main Street, USA.
Okay, now let me finish the questions before you jump in, because some of them have multiple parts or like bonuses, so you gotta
Sorry, I'm into it. I'm into it.
True or false? Mickey Mouse was the first cartoon character Disney created.
False. So it was Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What is the most expensive ride made at Walt Disney World, and what is the approximate cost?
Expedition Everest. Is that wrong?
According to my research, so yes, I think that last video when we talked about it, which kind of gives away what rides it could be. According to my research, it's Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind.
Oh.
And that was $500 million. I Googled what was the most expensive ride at Walt Disney World. Okay, you'll get this one. What are the opening dates for the 4 main Walt Disney World theme parks? In order.
Magic Kingdom opened on October 1st, 1971. Mm-hmm. Epcot opened on October 1st, 1982. Disney's MGM Studios at the time opened on May 1st, 1980.
Oh, I'm glad you said MGM because I wrote it down as that. Okay.
Disney's MGM Studios opened on May 1st, 1989.
Yeah.
And Disney's Animal Kingdom opened on April 22nd, 1998. Earth Day.
Yeah! I was not going to accept it unless you said Earth Day. So, yep. Okay, you get that one. Who has a statue at the front of Magic Kingdom Park, and what is the significance?
So it's Walt's brother Roy sitting with Minnie Mouse. And the significance of that is Walt passed before Walt Disney World was complete. And if it wasn't for Roy, he wouldn't have completed the Florida project in honor of his brother.
Correct. A lot of people think that that's Disney. That's Walt.
No, that's his. So it was Walt was the creative. Roy was the big brother who managed the business and the finances. and he knew it was his brother's dream, and so he completed the project, and he passed away months after it opened. He put all of his energy into it.
Yeah, Magic Kingdom would not have opened if it wasn't for Roy.
Nope.
For sure. So this is a 3-part question.
Okay.
What ride was featured at the 64-65 World's Fair?
Yep.
Who wrote the song for the ride?
Yep.
And what is another song?
Okay, so
From
Carousel of Progress, Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress.
Okay.
Wrote by the Sherman Brothers. Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
Okay, so what's another song by them? And there are lots.
It's a Small World.
Okay.
Or Tiki Room.
And I wrote down supercalifragia ...
Well, so they did Mary Poppins.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's where Feed the Birds is from too.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
And they played it. Richard Sherman, or the Sherman Brothers, played it for Walt every day in his office on the lot.
Yep. Okay. Final question. This one is going to be hard.
Okay.
I don't think you'll get... Okay. So, name the locations of Soarin' Around the World. There are 13, and I want the actual names of the places, and I'll give you money based on how many of the 13 that you get, and this will be difficult. I was only able to get 8 of the 13 when I did it myself.
Well, I'm sure I can name the scenes, but whether or not it's the specific location.
I know, but I want the names.
Okay,
of
so
the place.
obviously Epcot at the finale scene with Tinkerbell and the Mickey ears.
I'm going to bold these as we go. So
Then the scene right before that is the Eiffel Tower.
Okay.
You have the Taj Mahal.
Yep.
You have the Great Wall of China.
Yep.
You have Monument Valley in, Utah?
I think it's Utah, but yep.
You have, I believe it's Victoria Falls, but it's a waterfall, maybe.
Do you know the country?
Is it Brazil?
Okay. I'll give it to you because you said falls in Brazil.
Well, yeah,
but
the
it was
waterfall scene.
Agazu Falls, which that was one I
knew it was
didn't get.
either Africa or Brazil.
Yeah. There's still some very obvious ones that you've missed.
So I'm going to kick myself over this. So.
Yeah, you're going to be angry at some of these.
What's the elephant scene? That's got to be in Africa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Africa.
What?
But the name of it. Okay.
I'm sure. Okay, I'm sure it's that. Because what other African scene is there? You don't even know where it is, and you're looking at the answer.
Well, that's the. Hold on.
Okay.
Skip that one for now.
Okay. The rowing scene is like either French Polynesia or Tahiti or Fiji or like somewhere in that part of the world. You're really gonna make me name the specific place?
For that one, no, I'll accept Fiji.
Okay, yeah, so I said Fiji, yeah.
So I'll give you Fiji, but it was Lauland, Fiji Islands.
Okay, well, Fiji's the country, yeah.
There's still like 4 that I think you'd really kick yourself over.
Okay, so
Okay, so you're missing ones that are tied to either rides or things in the park.
Okay, so I was going to get to the castle in Austria or Germany, Neuschwanstein Castle.
Okay.
Is it Austria or Germany? It's in that region.
It's Germany, right?
I think so.
What, Princess?
You just watched the video about it.
I know, they traveled to both Austria and Germany on that trip, so I think it's German, in Germany. But yeah, the
Neuschwanstein Castle that inspired either Beauty and the Beast or Sleeping Beauty Castle.
Yep.
The polar bear scene after. So the first scene is the mountain, the Matterhorn mountain.
Matterhorn, yep.
Which is in the Swiss Alps.
Okay.
And then the scene after that is the polar bear on the iceberg, which has to Antarctica.
No, it's another kind of random.
Greenland, Iceland.
Greenland.
Okay. The polar bear in Greenland.
Yeah. You have 3 more, and I think they're ones you can get.
I said Taj Mahal. I said Great Wall of China.
Yep.
I said Eiffel Tower. I'm trying to think. The grass smells.
Grass is Africa, which you haven't gotten the Africa one yet.
There's no orange smell because that's
California. Well-established places, like some of the obvious ones where you see it and you know the name. It's just because there's so many to think of that you're just not even.
It's like I'm missing the middle part of the attraction.
There's no way for me to give you a hint because everything of these are just.
Oh, this is sad then.
Okay, I'm gonna give you hints for this, I'll try to be creative. Yeah. So 42 Wallaby. Wait.
Oh, Sydney, the Sydney Harbor Bridge. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. See, I told you the plane. Yep. This culture worships cats. The culture, the writing on the walls.
Oh.
Worship
Oh.
cats.
God. Ah. The Great Pyramids of Egypt.
Of Giza.
Of Giza, yes.
In Egypt,
in
yes.
Egypt. Okay, so.
Yep.
Oh,
and so the
man.
only thing left is the Africa one.
So where does it say it technically is?
Mount Kilimanjaro. So for the last question, I'm going to give you 5 out of the 10 possible dollars. And then there was that one wrong question about the most expensive ride.
Okay.
So that would be 85 total dollars. So $85 is a good amount of money to spend in Epcot.
I was hoping for at least 90. I'm a little disappointed in myself.
This is hard. I wouldn't have gotten...
You know how much random stuff is up here
I
about
know,
Disney.
but I didn't think it would be as fun if you just got
I know.
10 out of 10 without,
No,
you
I
know.
Those are good questions. Good job.
Thank you.
Well done.
So, $85 and hopefully you bring me back something.
I will. And to that, let's go back to Epcot. All right. So as you can see, $85. Got 8 in partial credit on another question, so 8.5 questions right. And while we're on the topic of spending money in Walt Disney World, which is not really a difficult thing to do nowadays, we're also, on that note, going to give you some money-saving tips, some Walt Disney World budgeting tips, if you will, that will hopefully help you in planning and going on your vacation. And I've actually been in the park for a little while already today, so with that, the first tip that I'll give you is use the Walt Disney World complimentary transportation. If you are staying on property at a Walt Disney World resort, you have access to multiple forms of transportation to get you to and from your resort, to the parks, to Disney Springs, etc. Those modes of transportation are the Walt Disney World buses, the monorail, the boats, as well as the Skyliner. You have boats running all around the Magic Kingdom Resort area. You also have the friendship boats running between Hollywood Studios, Epcot, Swan and Dolphin, Boardwalk, Beach Club, Yacht Club, that whole area. So use those to save some money and you don't have to pay for a car share. And so we're actually going to start tracking our spending for today from before I even got into the park. We're staying at the Contemporary Resort this trip, and before I left this morning, I bought a Joffrey Shaken Jamaican Cold Brew, the best coffee in Walt Disney World, hands down. I forget what the amount was with tax, but it's $5.99, so let's just say it was $6 off the bat for my Shaken Jamaican Cold Brew this morning, and that leaves me with $79 left to spend for the day. It's not even 11 o'clock yet, but I'm thinking my next purchase is going to be lunch. And even though we're here during Flower and Garden Festival, the booths of the festival haven't opened yet, but I have my sights set on, if you know me and you've been watching the channel for a while, you can probably tell I'm walking to the Mexico Pavilion and gonna get some nachos. Because when in Epcot, that just sounds great. It's a beautiful day, not too hot, so just sitting outside with a drink and some nachos sounds wonderful right now. So before we actually get the food, I'm gonna head into La Cava del Tequila, get a tequila soda, and then grab some lunch. So while we wait for La Cava del Tequila to open here in the Norway Pavilion, and if you've been watching a couple travelers, you probably know that Jenna and I cover theme parks, cruises, and resorts. And this summer, we are going on our first celebrity cruise, a Norwegian Fjords cruise aboard the Celebrity Apex. So we are super excited for that trip, going to stop in Norway and Belgium. And before that, we are doing a few days in London as well. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss all of those videos coming to the channel this summer. All right, I had to wait a hot second for our tequila soda and our nachos here, but it's all worth it. It is all worth it. I'm sitting in the shade in the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot. There's a breeze blowing through. It's in the 70s to 80s right now. I have nachos and the tequila soda. Happy as a clam. La Cava del Tequila, if you don't know, get in the know. Get in line early or just plan to wait in line. It is very popular here in Epcot. They have an amazing tequila selection. The one I was going for, they were unfortunately out of, but the great bartender there recommended the Cascanes Blanco. So I got that with soda and lime, and altogether with a 22% tip. That was $23.39. It's a mid to high-end tequila, and then with tip, you know, you got to tip the good cast members here. $23 for a cocktail. That's Disney for you. I also got from the Mexico quick service here outside just an order of nachos, like I said before, and altogether with tax, that was $16.51. So if I do some quick math here, we're at $79 minus $23.39 minus $16.51. We have $39.10 left to spend for the day. As you can see, I've already been drinking my tequila soda here a little bit, but really good. For that price, they need to make it well. So a nice balance of the actual liquor and the soda. And then the nachos here are always good. When we're here at a quick service restaurant, this actually brings us to our second money-saving tip here at Walt Disney World, which is request ice water. So they were nice enough to give me 2. If you don't know, you can request complimentary cups of ice water when you order quick service meals at Walt Disney World. Obviously, you can easily get it when you're at a sit-down restaurant as well. But with Walt Disney World, you know, mainly being hot for the majority of the year, they do a good job in giving their guests complimentary ice water. So we also have a video out in the channel right now where this is already a tip in it, and that video covers ways to beat the heat in Walt Disney World. We were here last July, and so I did a video from Magic Kingdom for the day where it was easily a heat index over 100. And so we'll link that video below, but if you want to learn other ways to beat the heat while you're here at Walt Disney World, especially if you're planning on being here June, July, August, go check that video out. Before we came down to Walt Disney World, Jenna and I were talking about opportunities during the day today to give me bonus money to spend by like spur of the moment trivia questions she would send to me. So she said $20 for the names of Donald Duck's nephews. Jenna, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Come on now. I'll gladly take the extra $20, bringing our total back up now to $59.10 left to spend for the rest of the day. I'll take it. It's crazy how therapeutic some time off your feet, a cocktail, and some nachos can be. This is our day 3 here. I think as Jenna and I are in our mid-30s now. Yeah, we're feeling the whole like Walt Disney World's back-to-back days thing. We're here, we're pushing through. You just gotta know how to take some time and rest and get off your feet. And holy crap, the frozen line is very long. This is a Friday, and it's, I guess, pre-spring break or just like the very start of spring break season. But while we start making our way around the World Showcase, figured I would give a third tip for money saving in Walt Disney World, which kind of goes hand in hand with tip number 2, requesting free ice water from quick service restaurants, is order a case of water and have it delivered to your resort prior to arriving at Walt Disney World. That'll save you a lot of money in the long run. We recommend a service like Shipt, or if you want to use DoorDash or something, have a local shopper pick up a case of water, and you could leave it obviously in your hotel room, cool the bottles of water off in the fridge, and then just take a couple when you are heading out into the parks during the day. I believe a bottle of water right now for Walt Disney World is over $4, if not over $5, if I'm not mistaken. So I think for our 24 pack of Dasani, and with the shipped fee and a delivery driver tip, it was about $20. So saves you a lot of money in the long run, and that is easily gonna last us, you know, the 5 or 6 days while we're here. It's one thing I want to use some of our daily budget for while we're here today is a new oven mitt. We have this Mickey Mouse glove, like the black and white, very iconic Mickey Mouse hand. We have that in the oven mitt form that we bought at, I think, Food and Wine a number of years ago at this point. It's since got really, discolored and a little burned from using it a lot. And so one of the things I'm looking to buy is a new one while we're here. So on the lookout for that as we kind of walk around. And while we're also here, I'm doing, obviously, as you can tell, some solo days in the parks, and I'm going to be surprising Jenna each day with something that I bring back to her. So yesterday I brought her a little mini Grogu, which she loves, from The Mandalorian. And then I have an idea of what I want to bring her back today. We just got to make our way over to where we can get that. So that'll be in a little bit. But Right now we're coming up on the America Adventure Pavilion. This is always one I like to stop in, especially when the feet are starting to hurt, because it's a nice midpoint attraction to get inside, sit down for 20-25 minutes in the AC, watch a very technically impressive show. If you haven't seen it, check it out, and if you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. We'll do the American Adventure and then back out into World Showcase. Back at Disney's Contemporary Resort, took the monorail from Epcot, and gonna meet up with Jenna in a little while to go in the pool. She has a little bit of a break in her travel agent conference today. And if I haven't mentioned in this video, Jenna is the travel agent, and she would love to help you plan your next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line. She also does Royal Caribbean and Sandals and Secrets Resort. So if you are thinking of a theme park, cruise, or resort vacation, please consider working with Jenna. It is completely free to work with the travel agent. You pay nothing extra than you would by paying the brand directly, but you get all the added benefits and knowledge of a travel agent who could be a resource for you as you plan and go on your vacation. So if you're interested in a free, no obligation quote, Jenna's contact information is in the video description below. But on the way out of Epcot, I did make our next purchase, which is some Twinings tea for Jenna. She loves tea, and as I mentioned before, we are going to England this year. I picked this up in the tea shop in the UK pavilion at Epcot. So chamomile, honey, and vanilla. Jenna loves chamomile tea, so we will give that to her later. That should already be a YouTube short that's out on the channel now, so you can go check that out and see the full video with the other things I bought for Jenna. Still here at the Contemporary Resort, but changed tables because I got hungry. So came here to the Contempo Cafe, and I realized I didn't mention in the last recording how much the Twinings tea was. So when we went to the UK pavilion, we had $51.90 left. The Twinings tea was $7.44, which, if I do math right, that left us with $44.46. I just placed a mobile order here at Contempo Cafe, but altogether that was $9.04. We'll do $44.46 minus $9.04, which leaves us with $35.42 left to spend in the rest of the day. Probably going to head to Magic Kingdom later this evening, so we'll probably tap into our budget again then, but stay tuned. Here at Steakhouse 71, Jen and I met up, went into the pool here at Contemporary for a little while. So the next thing on my budget today is a Jameson and ginger. I will let you know how much it is when we get the check, but Jenna is here as well.
Did you guys miss me?
She's enjoying a Diet Coke and the infamous bacon and eggs from Steakhouse 71.
Doesn't infamous have a bad connotation? It's just
legendary.
Famous?
Legendary, famous. Infamous, depending on who you ask, could also be good. But this is her dinner. I am going to go to Magic Kingdom for a little while after this and get some food there and spend more of the...
It'll be in this. So we have a Prince theme party. Purple Rain. Get it?
Why is it Prince themed?
Because the newest Norwegian cruise line ship, the Norwegian Aqua, their show is about Prince. So the theme night tonight, which is hosted by Norwegian, is Prince themed. So it'll be a lot of purple tonight.
And what can people do if they want to see the Norwegian Aqua?
I would love to help you go on the Norwegian Aqua.
All right, we are back in the parks, Magic Kingdom tonight. Can't say this is a money-saving tip, but it's a time-saving tip. If you've seen Happily Ever After, I mean, for as great as the show is, I'm here because Jenna and I haven't really done any Magic Kingdom attractions yet on this trip. We did PhilharMagic our first night, and I think that was it. Oh, no, PhilharMagic and Buzz, because we're here for the extra magic hours because we're staying at Contemporary. But everybody's on Main Street in the hub right now, waiting for Happily Ever After. I am walking into Tomorrowland to hit up Carousel of Progress and the People Mover. If you know me, you know those are my rides. So at dinner with Jenna, I got a Jameson and ginger. That was $14.75, which leaves me with $20.67 left to spend tonight. So for any food or souvenirs or anything, the park closes in about 3 hours. Gonna need some dinner at some point, but first, Carousel of Progress.